So much of your ability to win games in Rocket League simply comes down to your decision making. And if you're constantly making decisions that are putting you in a bad spot on the field, it is very difficult to consistently win games and rank up. So in today's video, we'll be discussing how you can make winning decisions in Rocket League. And real quick before we do get started, if you guys are interested in having one of your own replays analyzed, make sure you do check out my Discord, which is linked down in the description, as I do offer free coaching through there. A bad habit that a lot of players develop, and I don't know if this is a conscious choice or if it's subconscious. For a lot of players, it is subconscious. But they have this really weird thing where they always want to try to play the ball like towards the net. Like even if it's just like in this backboard area, they want to play it that way. And the reality is when you have challenges like this, like we can see this guy's coming forward just like this. So we know he's going to be challenging in like this area here-ish. So if we hit the ball this way, we're just hitting it directly into his path. What we need to do is we need to assess where he's coming from and then hit the ball away from him. So he is there. I'm not going to hit the ball that way because that's where he is. I'm going to hit the ball this way and just go up the wall because that takes him out of the game. And then I can just bring this around and deal with the last guy back rather than risk hitting it directly into this guy. So just be aware of where they're approaching from. And I agree, take the ball around him, but it doesn't mean that the ball has to go towards in the general direction of the net. Like we can go sidewall here. Okay, be careful of this. These are always tough because obviously like you don't want to go directly to the corner because you know you're beat there. In these positions, I prefer generally to rotate towards here onto this backboard. And the reason I want to do that is because from the backboard, I am still between where the ball is and where the goal is. And I also have an easier time both cutting off what he wants to do as well as any kind of pass out. The second you rotate towards the net immediately, what happens is if this guy gets control of the ball, which granted this is diamond, so they probably won't be able to do so consistently because that's a pretty awkward ball to get control of. But at a higher rank, when they're able to get control of the ball in that position, if you're back here, you now have to basically play this guessing game because from this spot, you have two things that you need to defend. You need to defend them trying to doomsday dish this thing off the wall directly into your net themselves, and you need to defend the pass, which is pretty difficult because you kind of have to commit for one, and if they go for the other, you're just beat. So it's very, very dangerous to put yourself here where you just kind of have to react to that, as opposed to being here where you can just challenge this ball immediately, or if you don't feel like challenging it, you can just wait and stay between him and the goal, but you deny his ability to dish it from there if you're on this wall, and if he does go to pass it, you can just jump off the wall and challenge. So you have a lot more options covered from the wall as opposed to giving up the space by going into the net. Okay. I think you're giving up way too much space here. This is, again, just awareness of the opponents. I don't think you should just abandon this ball completely. Like, this turn is fine, but I think you should still hang out, like, around this area. Because from where he is, I don't think he's banging the ball, like, into this wall over here, which would be where it's dangerous for us. It looks like if he's gonna bang it, it's gonna be, like, you know, into this wall. But it also doesn't look like he's getting any kind of powerful touch that's gonna be all that dangerous with where he is. So I'm much happier being somewhere in this area. And the reason being, watch how he lands. So you have a completely free ball here if you were still in this area. But instead, you're all the way back there facing backwards. So now you just can't actually go attack this ball. And you're just giving up the entire field to your opponents. Now, yes, your teammate is going to harass them the entire way down the field, which is great and all. But there's really no reason that they should be able to get this ball out of their half at all after he had that bad of a landing in the corner. So keep yourself in a spot where you can attack the ball if the opportunity presents itself. If he just smoothly recovers and is right back on it, then you just don't challenge it. You're fine. But from right here, you have the choice of whether you do want to challenge or whether you want to stay back. From back there, the only choice you have is to wait and give up all this space for them to just bring the ball back into your defensive half for really no reason. Good catch here, I like this. Be careful of these challenges. You don't really have your car much behind this ball. You are kind of giving a very easy opportunity for this ball to just, you know, go this way. With this guy lingering out in this area is not great. I would be much happier if you square your car up behind this ball and just take as solid a 50 as you can. Again, it looks like you might be trying to like bait him in and then at the last second hit the ball this way. Yeah, which is probably not going to work. And even if it does, you're on 9 boost, he's going to recover and just swing back in. It's not like you're going to get anywhere with that. So you're on low boost, just try to take the best challenge you can here. And keep the ball in a generally safe place. Ideally, honestly, if we can play this ball back to our own corner, that's probably for the best. Because our teammate can then go ahead and play that, and we can just rotate back around. As opposed to this challenge where the ball just goes into the midfield and could be an opportunity for this guy or this guy to stay on it. So yeah, just watch those challenges. Try not to do too much with them. Just take the simple play when it presents itself. And then we're going to go on a bit of a journey. Oh, diamond shot. Thank goodness. Okay. So we get a little lucky here. This is when awareness is huge. You're not looking at this guy currently, obviously. But when this ball pinches out into the midfield, if this boost is not there, you almost have to assume that the guy who's going to be rotating in like this probably took it. Obviously, you're not going to be looking there, so that's fair. But if you look, like he's taking that boost right now. When you get beat here, there's no reason to go to that mid boost. It's not going to be there. You have to like have that knowledge that that guy just came from that direction. It's very possible that that boost is not there. So even if it is, it's really not worth it to commit all the way out there. Just because we're taking ourselves very far out of the play to go for something that we don't really need when there's all these pads around. So instead of going all the way to the mid boost, I would go here, and then I would just turn back this way and go here. And go here, and go here. And now you could turn for this if you wanted to. You'd still be back in net to defend this shot. But instead, you're not in net to defend this shot. You're all the way over here. Flopping around because you messed up your wave dash. So if this guy just shoots the ball, it's in the net. If you were here, you'd at least be able to either try to cut this off, or you'd at least have a chance to make a save. As opposed to positioning like this. So yeah, be careful of that. Make sure you're taking the most effective path of pads you can. Don't get baited in to go for a mid boost, because even if that boost is there in that position, you're still taking yourself very far out of the play for not a whole lot of gain, when you could have gotten like 4 or 5 small pads and been on like 60 boost, back in net, able to make a save if you had needed to. Okay, this is a very bad habit that a lot of players develop. And it's very hard to break this. You land, like your natural course is going to take you to this boost. You recognize that your teammate's taking this boost. With that in mind, I encourage you to try to avoid going all the way back. Try to look for pads in the midfield so that you can stay up on offense with your teammate. Because again, what's happening here is your teammate takes this boost. And from right here, what I would probably do is just go back to here and then up to here. And then by the time you do that, you can probably get this pad too. Yes, you would be able to. So you could be here with like 36. So I would encourage you to be comfortable playing with anything like 30 boosts and above. Because with like 30 boosts, you can make it just about any touch you would need to. But instead, you're still going back at the time that you would probably be able to grab this pad. You'd probably be grabbing it about now. So you can have 36 boost right here being involved in the play. Or you can have 100 boost all the way back there. And the problem with this, right, is now you're basically playing 2 1v1s. Because your teammate is in a 1v1 with this guy. And if this guy beats your teammate, he's now in a 1v1 with you. And the problem with that is what you don't want to have happen is you don't want to allow time for him to beat this guy, get back in control of the ball, and then worry about beating you. What you want to have happen is you want him to go to try to beat your teammate, and in his act of beating your teammate, he loses control of the ball, and you're able to jump on it, which would then relinquish possession for them and give it back to your team. But when you're all the way back like this, you're just in a really bad spot, because if they had gotten any kind of clear here, you're just so far away from this play that there's not really a whole lot you can do. So I think you actually have a much more dangerous opportunity towards their net here. Because if you look at the positioning of the defense, so this guy's up here, he's out of the play. This guy's about halfway between his net and the midfield. But as you approach this ball, he's going to get even closer. You can see he's starting to kind of turn back now. But if you just drove into this ball, let it hit you, and pop it up into the air, you have a free air dribble here with a ton of boost. Yeah. So that's the opportunity I would look for, because if you go this way, all that does is allow your opponent to just turn in on it, because it's not like you can win a race over to this wall any faster than he can. because you're both like in the same spot. So as soon as he sees it go that way, he can just go that way. So look for the opportunity, like where the open space is. Don't just hit the ball into a spot where they would be able to get back to it. Like if you have an opportunity for control, take that control and actually put some pressure on your opponent. And actually, with your teammate bumping this guy, you actually probably would have a wide open net if you just took it that way. But instead you went to the wall, and now you have to chase it down, which is a lot more awkward, as opposed to just having a free air dribble through the middle of the field. I don't hate this challenge. Honestly, I probably would go sidewall here. Because the problem with jumping is you're now committed, like, in this area. And all your opponent has to do is, like, see that you're in this area, and then he can just play the ball around you pretty easily. If you go sidewall here, you cut off one angle of his clear. Your teammate has the midfield over here, so he cuts off the other angle of the clear. So that way you kind of have, like, most of the options he would probably go for shut down. Like, he might go, you know, this way, but that's whatever. Who cares if he does that? But jumping super early like this, you're going to burn a lot of your boost, and you're kind of just hoping that he doesn't see you there and hits the ball directly into you. Because otherwise, you're not doing anything. You're not really doing actually much at all, because he just plays the ball directly around you, and actually pretty easily gets back to it. So, yeah, you basically did nothing there. As opposed to if you were on the sidewall, you at least would have denied one angle of clear, and then you could have let your teammate handle the other one. Okay. I don't think just hitting the ball forward is a great option. Because if you just hit the ball forward, you don't have the boost to catch up to it. Even if your teammate goes for the bump, this guy has the boost to just turn on the ball wherever you hit it and get the clear. Which is what's going to happen. So because your teammate's here, you have two options. Either A, you slow down and let this ball kind of just trickle and then just drive through it and keep it on your bumper. So like not on top of your car, but literally just roll the ball in front of you. And by doing that, you will allow time for your teammates to see what's happening and go for this bump. That's much more beneficial than just relinquishing possession right away, because then he can just take it for free. If you're still in control of the ball, again, he has to worry about what exactly you're going to try to do with it. Because while you're in control, you can like do a bunch of cuts and stuff. You can do a lot of stuff. The second you just get rid of the ball, that's it. He knows what's going on. The second option is you can go for this pass to your teammate. Because they've just gotten full boost in the corner. This guy's expecting you to probably go towards the net. So if you just hit the ball to the right, it's possible your teammate can swing in and take a shot. Those are the two options I would go for. Don't just hit it away, but actually try to make a play with this ball. Don't just give it up for free. This is another one where I think you can just go drive challenge. So you turn around, you got this clear. You use a lot of boost to do that. That guy's going to beat you to the ball. There's no way you're beating him. It's just not going to happen. Yes, you're down by 2 with 40 seconds left. So this is where we kind of start to get to the area where we start to make decisions out of panic and not really out of what is the best play to make. Because obviously, like, we're worried about trying to get this ball downfield as fast as possible. So we think if we just rush at this ball, hey, maybe it might work out and we might dunk him and we might be able to clear the ball. Realistically, that's probably not going to happen. So what I would do here is recognize, okay, I'm beat to this. I'm going to force him to make a touch, as I always would, because I don't want to give him the ball for free. And what you do is you drive up, you force him to make the touch this way, and you drive back. And then the ball is going to go into the corner like this. Your teammate can come out here to challenge it, and you can rotate back around to support your teammate in the ensuing challenge. Instead, you go absolutely flying at this thing. And in doing so, you now leave your teammate completely alone. Because also, if you just drive challenge, if you turn back around and your teammate's not there, then you can at least try to nip back into the play again, as opposed to just taking yourself out of the play like this. As you guys can see, we are able to propel our gameplay to a much higher level if we are just slightly smarter with our decision making. So make sure in your own games that you really consider all of the decisions that you're making around the field, and make sure that in any given situation, the decision you make is the best one possible to put your team in a position to succeed. Of course, thank you everybody so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who made it to this point in the video, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, once again, if you're looking for some one-on-one coaching of your own, or perhaps you just like to be a bit more involved in the community we're building here, feel free to join my Discord, which is again linked down in the description. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.